Vietnam, a rapidly developing economy in Southeast Asia, has been committed to its own infrastructure construction. In this process, Japan, as Vietnam's key economic partner, has always played an extremely important role. Japan has not only provided huge investments to Vietnam, but has also actively participated in the construction of many infrastructure projects. However, a recent major decision by the Vietnamese government has caused obvious twists and turns in this long-term and deep cooperative relationship. Recently, the Vietnamese government announced the relaunch of an urban transportation infrastructure project costing up to $3.5 billion. Unexpectedly, this time Vietnam did not choose Japan as a partner as in the past, but turned directly to China. This decision deeply disappointed Japan, which had long supported Vietnam. In today's video, I will explain the competition between China and Japan in Vietnam's infrastructure sector, and why Vietnam is willing to hand over important infrastructure projects worth up to $3.5 billion to China. Before getting into the topic, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the Asia Rising Star channel, which will ensure that you don't miss any of our exciting content. Let's get started now. With the gradual recovery of global tourism, Vietnam, as a country with rich culture and natural landscapes, has attracted many domestic and foreign tourists. But for the development of Vietnam's urban tourism industry, in order to cope with the growing tourism demand, upgrading transportation infrastructure has become a crucial part of its tourism development. In January 2024, Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, ushered in a major infrastructure development project. China's Pacific Construction Group and Vietnam's Hanoi Department of Transport have joined hands to sign a cooperation agreement worth approximately $2.6 billion. According to this agreement, Vietnam will hand over the construction project of Hanoi Metro Line 5 to Pacific Construction Group. The total length of this subway line will reach 39 kilometers. Plans by Chinese engineers show that this important subway line will include 6.5 kilometers of underground railways, 2 kilometers of elevated railways, and 30 kilometers of above-ground railways. The entire project will also include 21 stations and 2 depots. It is worth mentioning that this project was originally planned to start in 2016 and was scheduled to be completed in 2030. However, due to Vietnam's hesitation and delay, the project was not officially finalized until 2023. It is now expected that construction of Hanoi Metro Line may 5th start as early as 2026. In addition to the construction of the subway line, Hanoi also plans to build an additional bridge costing more than $800 million. The bridge project is also undoubtedly undertaken by China Pacific Construction Group. According to previous plans by both parties, Chinese companies will be responsible for expanding a 2-lane bridge across the Red River and building a road connecting Hanoi to Dinh Nguyen Expressway. The total length of the project will reach 11.5 kilometers, with an estimated total investment of up to VND 20 trillion, equivalent to approximately $814 million. But it is worth mentioning that Japan has been a strategic partner of Vietnam for a long time in the past and has given Vietnam a large amount of investment and help. The Ho Chi Minh City Metro Line 1 project in Vietnam was also constructed by Japanese companies. But why has Vietnam now handed over this $3.5 billion project to China? As far as I know, before Vietnam reached cooperation with China this year, Vietnam was also planning 2 major subway projects during the same period. One of them is the Ca Linh Ha Dong light rail project in the capital Hanoi, and the other is Metro Line 1 in Ho Chi Minh City. Ho Chi Minh Metro Line 1, as the first subway line in the Vietnamese capital, was contracted and constructed by a Japanese company. This project was jointly constructed by Japan's Sumitomo Corporation and Vietnam's 6th Transportation Engineering and Construction Corporation, with a total investment of more than 43.7 trillion VND, or approximately 1.85 billion US dollars. As a landmark project of cooperation between Vietnam and Japan, the two parties initially planned to complete construction in 2018. However, this two-year project has been repeatedly delayed, causing widespread dissatisfaction among the Vietnamese people. Although the total length of Ho Chi Minh Metro Line 1 is only about 20 kilometers, the resumption date of the project has been repeatedly postponed due to ongoing disputes between Vietnam and Japan on multiple issues. Japan believes that the main reasons for the project's failure were a lack of funds and improper distribution of responsibilities. They said more funding was needed as the fiscal deficit continued to grow due to budget shortfalls. Vietnam believes that Japanese companies are responsible for the sharp increase in commercial development costs along the subway due to project delays and should bear related expenses. This conflict led to a deadlock over funding and responsibilities, ultimately delaying the project until 2023. But when we turn our perspective to another infrastructure project in Vietnam, Hanoi's Ca Linh Ha Dong. This light rail has been successfully completed with China's strong assistance. According to Vietnam's plan, this line connects three major cities in the capital Hanoi, Cat Linh, Tan Chateau, and Ha Dong, with a total length of 13.5 kilometers. In 2021, an important part of this project, Hanoi Light Rail Line 2, will be officially opened. For the Vietnamese people, this is not only the completion of a transportation project, but also the realization of their dreams for many years. This light rail has significantly reduced the commuting time for residents in Hanoi and Ha Dong. According to statistics, the one-way round-trip time on this light rail does not exceed 30 minutes. Today, Hanoi's Ca Linh Ha Dong light rail has been operating safely for 3 years, and the number of passengers transported has exceeded 22 million. It is worth mentioning that during this period, this light rail system maintained a record of 0 safety incidents. As of now, Line 2 is the only operating subway line in Hanoi, Vietnam. Against this background, Vietnam has finally realized the gap in strength between China and Japan in the field of infrastructure construction. Therefore, Vietnam decided to hand over the construction of Hanoi Line 5 subway project to China. According to the Vietnamese government's future plans, they are actively supporting these major projects to accelerate the development of the urban subway system. Hanoi City is expected to build 10 subway lines in the future, with a total length of nearly 420 kilometers, including 75 kilometers of underground lines. In this process, China will continue to support Vietnam and provide more help for future cooperation. I believe that with the deepening of cooperation, the subway system in Hanoi, Vietnam will become more convenient, bringing direct benefits of cooperation between China and Vietnam to many tourists. Thank you for watching today's video. If you are interested in these exciting projects and information, please be sure to subscribe to my channel and you will receive more valuable videos in the future.